I prayed, because I am a spiritual person, that I had a few more decades with my son, so that he was a grown person. And he's a grown, he's a young adult now, but even more grown. My name is June Reid, and I'm based in South London. I'm 64, and I currently work part-time as a registrar of birth, deaths and marriages. I was diagnosed with cancer, lung cancer, on the 31st of May. I had experienced severe fatigue from about December of last year. And originally I thought two things. I'd had COVID and long COVID in the previous December, and it had turned into long COVID from the January through to the spring. And I just thought either the long COVID has come back again, or that I'd got COVID again, because my job means I meet with the public and I travel on public transport. And my son got COVID, and I now know that it was the cancer, the lung cancer. I would come home on Monday evening and literally not even eat, take my coat off and just literally have to go to bed. I have a very specific memory of going to work one Monday, in fact, getting up actually, and feeling dreadful, and I should not have left my house. But I'm one of those people who thinks, I'll shake it off, because I had a train and a bus journey, preceded by a car journey to the station. And when I got to the station, there's a lady that travels. If we meet each other on the station, we travel together. And when I was on the train, she said to me, "You look very unwell." And I said, "I feel very unwell." And when I got to Victoria, she said to me, "Do you want to get the train back?" And I kind of said, no, I'll get on the bus and I'll probably be fine. And she offered to come to work with me. And I said, no, I'll get to work and I'll be fine. Well, I wasn't. I got to work and I went down to the kitchen to have my coat up, our staff kitchen. And I sat in the chair. I couldn't eat. Normally I have my breakfast at work. Couldn't do anything. And I was just waiting for a manager to come in. And as soon as the manager came in, which was around 9 o'clock, I went straight back home. And I got an Uber to my car, and then I drove, and I was really very careful because I felt that awful. And I went to bed. And I think I don't recall going back to work until the new year, because I work part-time, and the way the days felt, I think I went back after Christmas. And then I continued to feel, to struggle. I didn't feel as bad as that incident, but I was very fatigued, and the fatigue carried on. I was distressed, I was crying, because it was just like just going about my daily life was awful. I then also went to a alternative health shop in Blackheath, and the manager there is amazing. And I was crying because I was just so overwhelmed by how dreadful I felt. And so I decided to call the doctor. I thought, something's wrong. Either I have got long COVID and I need a blood test or something to establish what's causing this. But he sent me straight away for blood tests. They came back, and every single thing they measured was off the scale, not high, off the scale. So I am a non-insulin diabetic. That was high. My cholesterol was high, but those two things have been high for a while. As a Black person, my vitamin D was high. That is unheard of. Black people do not have vitamin D levels that are high, and we're recommended to take a vitamin D supplement, particularly in the winter, because we don't get enough from the sun. My iron was too high, my calcium was too high. So when I spoke to a second doctor, getting feedback on the results, she then sent me back for more blood tests, and they came back just as bad. Then she referred me, and at the time I hadn't met her either, she referred me to what is called the Rapid Assessment Diagnostic Clinic at Guy's Hospital. And I met a fantastic GP called Dr. Mill Waters. I won't forget her. And I sent her a thank you card, and the other two GPs a thank you card, because Dr. Mill Waters was at pains to explain to me the purpose of being sent to that clinic, what would happen and why. And she reassured me that there was no given as to what the outcome might be. But we would go through a series of scans, blood tests, and other things to establish. And I had MRIs, CTs, PET scans, blood tests. And on 19th of May, she rang me and told me they saw a shadow on my lung. There was a lung nurse specialist in the room, my consultant. He showed me the x-ray and he said that grey area is the tumour. And he said it was 2.5 centimetres. My type of lung cancer, which is an atypical carcinoid of the middle lobe, wasn't caused by smoking. And it's a rare form of lung cancer. I was admitted on the 12th of June to Guy's Hospital and had the operation on the 13th. And I think I was discharged something like 2 or 3 days later. They don't muck about, they needed the bed. But, you know, they made sure that I suppose that I was okay because they were able to remove the drainage tubes. A physiotherapist came around with a booklet and talked me through what I needed to do in terms of exercises. Anyone who's had a lung cancer will know they try and get you active and utilising your lungs to the best of your ability as soon as possible. Had a lung, my surgeon, wonderful man, Dr. Oki Raw. He is a robots specialist, so they used robots to remove my cancer, so less invasive, and I suppose it helped me to heal more quickly. I feel now that my energy levels are, they're just so brilliant. And the point I'm kind of making is that I kind of became aware that once I kind of got out of my late 50s into my 60s, although I just felt my energy levels had changed and I wasn't as energetic, but I was still able to do things. My energy level now is so much better and possibly back to how it was maybe in my 40s and certainly maybe in my 50s. My energy level, my capability, capacity to do things is like the old me, where I had things to do. I was very focused. I created lists. I prioritized them. I could get up with ease, 5:30, just go bang, 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 bang. That's the me, that's the me that I knew. And I'm so grateful to have that me back. I'm also grateful to the doctors and nurses. The majority of them were lovely and kind. And I just want to put back, I want to put back. And I think the more stories that can be told about people's experience of lung cancer, and in the case of other charities, cancers generally, people will appreciate that because they didn't smoke doesn't mean they've got lung cancer. Because they're not coughing doesn't mean they haven't got lung cancer. And the more that we can all do in terms of sharing our knowledge and experience, if we feel comfortable doing so, is we can make a difference. It's about making a difference and, hopefully helping to save somebody else's life, really.